NANABOOZHOO! Mino Giga Jabe. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. And welcome back to the show. Hey, Beneshi Young. Birds, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Boozhoo, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. My name is Natasha, and today's Ojibwe word of the day. Curtis Mills. Boozhoo, Curtis. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to finally see you during the live stream. We're going to talk about a Mick. This is a tale about the beaver's tail. A Mick. Today's Ojibwe word of the day. A Mick. And Nibwakawin, wisdom. Sometimes I come out here and I'm all like, for today's Auntie Tasha's moment of wisdom, moment of Nibwakawin, and then I'll give some advice or something. But today I just want to tell the story of a Mick. This is a tale of a Mick's beautiful tail. You see, back in the days of the grandfathers, a Mick used to have a big fluffy tail. It was like a fox or a squirrel or something. Just a beautiful furry tail with just silky fur, just beautiful. And he's just proud of it. And he'd strut around the woods here and show off his tail to all his friends. And one day he went up to a Mukwa, the bear. He was all like, "Hey, Mukwa, check out my tail. Isn't it beautiful?" And Mukwa was like, "Yeah, that's really some tail. You must be very proud." And Mick goes, "Yeah, I bet you wish you had a tail like mine, huh?" And Mukwa says, you know, your tail is fine for you, but I like my tail just fine. It's little and stubby, but it doesn't get in the way when I rub my back on the trees. You know. And Mick goes, "Oh, you're just jealous." And he turned on his heel and went off into the woods. Well, pretty soon he comes up across Ondeg, the crow. He's like, "Hey, Ondeg, check out my tail. Isn't it beautiful?" And Ondeg's like, "Yeah, that's you got a really beautiful tail. You must be very proud." And Mick says, "Yeah, I bet you wish you had a tail like mine, huh?" And Ondeg, the crow, goes, "You know what? Your tail is good for you, but I like my tail just fine. It helps me steer when I fly." Mick was all, "Oh, you're just jealous." And he turned on his heel and stormed off. Well, he went out to the woods. He started chewing on this tree. Big old jack pine tree. And he was chewing away. And normally, Mick was really good logger. He could drop a tree right where he wanted it. But this day, he was still grumpy because his friends wouldn't compliment his tail. So he's chewing away. Instead of that tree falling forward, it started to fall backwards. And the last second, he was like, "Oh, ah!" And he jumped out of the way. But that tree landed with a smack right on his tail. And right on his little web feet, too. And he pulled it out from underneath the tree. It was like a cartoon character. It was a big old flat tail. And what used to be a big, beautiful furry tail was now all flat. Like a pancake. And black. And ugly. And Mick looked at his tail and he started to cry. And he cried out to GOFUNDME. He was like, GOFUNDME, what have you done to me? Look at my tail. And GOFUNDME looked down and he was like, you know, Mick, you did this to yourself. Because you behaved so ugly to your friends. And because you were so prideful. You had so much pride. You behaved ugly. And so instead of dropping that tree right, you dropped it right on your own tail. And now your tail's ugly. But listen, I want you to do something for me. I want you to go jump in that river. And Mick was like, jump in a river, but I don't feel like swimming right now, GOFUNDME. I'm kind of depressed. He goes, just do it. So he jumps in the river. And what happens? He realizes he can swim better than ever. Now his tail is like a canoe paddle. And he's zipping around underneath the water there. And now his feet are like flippers. He can swim as good as the fish. He can't believe it. And he realizes, goes, oh, wow, you know what? I'm going to build my house right in the middle of this river. I'll have a moat and an underwater tunnel. Oh, it'll be just cool. Maybe I'll build a dam. And he realizes that suddenly he can do all this amazing stuff. And he gets out of the river there and he goes, GOFUNDME. I don't know what to say. And GOFUNDME says, don't say anything. Just notice how sometimes if you behave badly, bad things will happen to you. But also, sometimes when bad things happen, good things come out of that bad thing. Sometimes a punishment can be a blessing. And from that day forward, Beaver never bragged about his tail anymore. Even though now he had something to brag about. But he wouldn't brag. Because he had the NANABOOZHOO, the wisdom, to stay humble. And this has been the tale of a mixed tale. Miigwech Kabizadawyeg. Thank you for listening. Hey, bonjour, Panzer Medical. What's going on, Pansy? Bonjour, Natasha. It's Kiki and Dad. Well, Kiki and Dad. Bonjour, Kiki. Bonjour, Dad. So nice to see you here this morning. Oh, we got a beautiful day for it. But I can't just spend all day communing with nature. No. I'm going to Bajan, B'nai Shiyag. I'm going to go, birds. Oh, yeah, I'll come back tomorrow. Mm-hmm. All right, then. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Bonjour. Hi, sweetie. Oh, hey there, Natasha. You ready to come in? Yeah, can you pick me up? You got it. Let's see. Scanning for your coordinates. All right. Locking in. Okay, then. And that's 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. No. Hey, baby. Well, hi. Welcome back home. Well, thank you so much. How was it outside? Oh, it's beautiful. Did you put out your tobacco and say a prayer? You know what? I didn't. I forgot. Some traditional Indian you are. I know, huh? No, I just I told the story of how Beaver got his tail. Oh, really? Did you tell a tale about the beaver's tail? Yeah, exactly. The tale of Amic's tail. Ladies and gentlemen, NANABOOZHOO. Okay, bonjour, Kakina Awiya. Hello, everybody. Hey, look, it's the rock star cartoonist. Bonjour, Michael Lyons. Hey, Natasha, how are you? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. want to say hello to the folks? Hey, everybody. Have you sold many books this month? You know, I never know how many books I sell until the end of the month. So I couldn't tell you. Michael has some books for sale on Amazon.com. Like Ojibwe. Ojibwe is a collection of Michael's cartoons. And they teach an Ojibwe word or phrase. And they got one of them Mexican aliens on the cover. Yeah. Did you see that? Yeah. That's so fake. I know. But anyway, Ojibwe has cartoons and the Little Cutie story. And if you'd like to learn more Ojibwe words and phrases, this is a good coffee table book. Or a really good book if you're teaching like a intro to Ojibwe words and phrases. Hint, hint, teachers. Ojibwe words and phrases. Links are in the description box to Amazon. And if you'd like to schedule a live show with NANABOOZHOO and Michael Lyons and me, email Michael at mlyons1984. 1984. Who could ask for more? No. mlyons1984 at yahoo.com. Kiki and Dad say, we are thinking about getting Onyx blood next. Oh, that's a good one, huh? Should I talk a little bit about Onyx blood? Yeah, sure. Let me see if I can find it. Onyx blood is a story about a little Wissakote Winini. A Wissakote Winini is what we call a person of mixed ancestry. A lot of us are mixed bloods. I'm a mixed blood. I have a mix of Anishinaabe and a mix of German. I'm a mixed blood. But this is a story about a little girl whose name is a mixed blood. And she's half vampire, half elf. Apparently, elf and vampire are races. Yeah. And she has to go to a boarding school, just like the Indians, huh? Yep. She goes to a boarding school to learn how to be a vampire. But she doesn't like it, so she runs away. She meets a mummy who turns out to be an alien. One who looks a lot like that alien on your other book. Yep. And the bad guy is Santa Claus. Because when you think about it, Santa Claus must be the most hated person to an elf. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. And so when the elves run away from boarding school, yeah, it's Santa Claus who goes and rounds them up and brings them back. That's awesome. And if they're really bad, yeah, then they have to go to the North Pole where they're forced to make toys for the kids. Yeah, that would be a punishment for elves. Elves don't want to have to work in a sweatshop. Yeah. So, Onyx blood. That's also available at Amazon.com. Hey, sweetie. Yeah? You have a call on line 2. Oh, really? I wonder who that could be. Maybe it's Kiki. You think Kiki's calling? I hope so. No. Hello, caller. Welcome to Boozhoo, NANABOOZHOO. You're on the air. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh. Santa Claus? That's right. It's me, jolly old Saint Nick. Oh, have you been a good little girl? I don't believe in you. What do you mean you don't believe in Santa Claus? I live on the North Pole, and I give toys to all the children of the world. Yeah, I know. Who is this really? Why, it's Santa Claus. Oh. What do you want?
I want to learn the Ojibwe word of the day. But I also want to tell you that Santa's not a bad man.
Oh, were you watching the show?
Yes, I don't know why Michael would make me a bad man. I love the elves.
Yeah, I'm sure you do love the elves, but do they love you?
Of course they love me. I let them work in Santa's workshop in the North Pole.
Yeah, do you pay them?
Well, I pay them in candy.
Candy?
You know, what's the Ojibwe word of the day?
I think somebody doesn't want to get into it. So today's word is amick, and that means beaver.
Amick, beaver.
Yep.
And how do you say wisdom in Ojibwe?
In Ojibwe, we call wisdom nibwakawin. Nibwakawin.
Nibwakawin. Wisdom. Merry Christmas.
It's not Christmas.
At Santa's village, it's Christmas every day.
Santa, you're starting to annoy me. Listen, here's another phrase. We don't have a word for goodbye, so we say, Gigawabamin Minawa. I will see you again.
Well, Gigawabamin Minawa. I will see you again, Natasha, 'cause I know when you're sleeping, and I know when you're awake.
I beg your pardon?
I watch you when you sleep, and I know when you've been good or bad.
Yeah, that's nothing but creepy. I gotta go.
Gigawabamin Minawa.
Ugh.
Well, Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's like speak of the devil, only it's speak of Santa Claus. He just calls up.
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
You know, Santa Claus was the first conspiracy theory.
It really was, huh? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, time now for NANABOOZHOO's dangerous conspiracy theories. This is something everybody likes to hear about, but YouTube pretends nobody wants to talk about or whatever. Miigwech egg. Thank you for listening. And up next, NANABOOZHOO, but first, this message.
Okay, hey, Boozhoo.
Boozhoo!
Welcome to Boozhoo, NANABOOZHOO. I am NANABOOZHOO.
And I am Natasha.
And we'd like to invite you to join the Boozhoo Crew membership channel. For $4.99 monthly, you get exclusive perks, exclusive members-only live stream, Auntie Tasha's Moment of Wisdom, huh, sweetie?
That's right.
And after today,
candid behind-the-scenes discussions with creator Michael Lyons. And new music videos, dead celebrity interviews from heaven, what have you. And of course, cat videos of Bagheera.
These were the golden days.
Click the link below. Join the Boozhoo Crew membership channel, $4.99 a month. We'll see you there. And I will see you again. Gigawabamin.
So it goes, or so they say. Times like a mountain skate. Well, I don't know, but I can't complain. God knows I've got my own escape.
And sometimes I just might. Okay, Boozhoo. Black medicine water. Makere mashkiki wabu.
Makere mashkiki wabu. The black medicine water. Are you going to talk about Santa Claus?
Oh, right. For today's dangerous conspiracy theory talk, I'd like to discuss jolly old Saint Nick. So, I call the Santa Claus the first conspiracy theory because it's the first time most kids find themselves having the same conspiracy theory discussion when you grow up. Like when you bring up what's a conspiracy theory?
The moon landing?
Yeah, the moon landing. If you say, "Oh, I don't believe, the moon landing, that's fake. They faked it." There'll be two camps: people who believe and people who don't believe. Well, when you start kindergarten, there are two camps of kids: people who believe and people who don't. I don't know if any more kids still believe in Santa Claus. What with the internet, kids have gotten pretty sophisticated. But when I was a little guy, kids still believed because their parents told them he was real. And as the story goes, there's a man who lives at the North Pole. Isn't it interesting how right away in the Santa Claus conspiracy, there's globe references in there?
Yeah, with the North Pole.
Yeah. So at the top of the globe, there's a man who lives in a village with little elves. And day and night, these elves toil to make your presents, your little toys. And it made more sense in the olden days when toys were made out of wood. But even in the 70s, they were like, yeah, elves made that. Stretch Armstrong. But so then you show up in kindergarten and somebody with an older brother says, "What, you believe in Santa Claus?" "No, man, that's fake." And just like moon landing believers, they ask the same questions. Well, why would they lie? My parents told me that Santa Claus visited our home. We had to leave him cookies and milk, and sure enough, in the morning, those cookies were eaten. I mean, there was a little left over, some crumbs, and you could see where he had bit, but yeah, Santa Claus was here. How do you explain all these toys? He even signed his name. Why would they lie? Are you telling me that, the government somehow lies to every child in the world? And then people get mad and say, "You're calling my parents a liar?" It's like, I don't know, man, but if you believe that, that's stupid. Because I remember I had to pretend I believed. It was kind of like pretending you believed in the globe after you discovered that was a hoax. So I was in kindergarten and I knew Santa Claus wasn't real. I mean, I knew what the presents were before my parents would even gift wrap them. They just put them in the closet. You could sneak in there and see what they bought. But Curtis says, "I think I was 5 when I figured out Santa." Yeah, 5, 6, something like that. But so I was 5 or 6, and it was actually my grandma. She was talking to somebody on the phone, and she was like, "Yeah, there's this kid in my class, a 3rd grader. Can you imagine a 3rd grader still believing in Santa Claus?" And I looked at her, and I started to cry.
Really? You cried?
Yeah, I don't know why. I was upset that somehow the illusion was destroyed because I was pretending I believed in Santa Claus. I wondered maybe if I thought that if they knew I didn't believe in Santa Claus, Christmas would be canceled or something. But it upset me that when I knew my grandmother knew I no longer believed in Santa Claus. Curtis Mills says, soon as I heard the Easter Bunny story, I knew it was bogus. Yeah, that was hard to swallow. Oh yeah, a rabbit. Because we didn't even have cartoons of Easter Bunny when I was a kid. They just had to believe a real rabbit somehow left a basket of chocolate in your living room hidden behind a plant. What? Why? I don't understand Easter at all. I'm done with holidays. I'm no longer going to celebrate Christmas because Santa's stupid, and I don't really support lying to your children. All right, how about that? I mean, hey, Mom and Dad, thanks for lying about this when I was too young to know any better. Good parenting. But it's just like how they lied to you about the moon landing, and they lied to you about the Earth spinning on its axis in outer space, and they lied about Columbus proving the Earth was round and discovering America. I mean, it's all lies. It's not just that people were wrong. They just made up stories and lied about it. Oh, this is a dinosaur. We found a dinosaur bone. Oh, really? Yeah. Trust us. Are you lying? What are you, a conspiracy theorist? That's why I don't mind destroying the Sesame Street, the Santa Claus narrative. Really? Yeah, there was a time where I almost felt guilty that maybe a kid would watch our show and I'd ruin it for him. Or the parents would get mad at me. Actually, I had a parent get mad at, or it wasn't me, it was you, huh, Michael? What's that? Remember when that old Indian elder pulled you aside and kind of scolded you for making Santa Claus the bad guy? Yeah, that was really strange. What'd she say? She pulled me aside and she goes, you shouldn't make fun of Santa. I go, why not? She says, don't you believe in Jesus? Don't you believe in Jesus? Yeah, that's the other thing. What is this supposed to be? An aged, fat Jesus? No, thank you. And then I also don't appreciate that they have a whole holiday about Jesus' birthday that's not on his birthday. The most holy holiday, Jesus never said, hey, don't forget my birthday. You know how important it is to me that I celebrate my 2000th birthday. Merry Christmas. I spent my whole life in Christian culture, and I never knew what the word Christ meant. I thought it was a swear word. Yeah. It just means the anointed one. Mary, anointed one, must... Anointed? What's that mean? Somebody put some holy water on your head? You're anointed? You're a knight of the round table? I don't know. He's the king. He's the anointed king. Maybe that's what that meant. Yeah. Anyway, today's Ojibwe word. Kiwanamo. Lie. Santa Claus, kids. It's a lie. I'm sorry. I'm the one that's had to tell you this. Hey! And this has been your Uncle NANABOOZHOO's moment of dangerous conspiracy theories. To learn more about how your parents have lied to you, how the government's all up in your business, trying to control your mind. No. I don't know. Maybe I should step outside and say a little prayer. Yeah, why don't you put out your tobacco? Yeah. I think it's time I go pray and talk to my best friend, the Creator.
serious?
Yes, I'm serious. That guy. All right, hang on. I'm going to teleport you outside. All right. I'm going to step outside for a second. And that's one to teleport. Make it so, number one. No. Oh, Agua Ching. Outside. See if I got any tobacco here. Asema, tobacco. I like to come outside and just offer a little tobacco to the Creator when I pray. I do smoke tobacco, but I don't usually smoke a pipe when I pray. I just sprinkle it on the ground. But I'm going to take this little asema. I'm going to say, Great Spirit, accept my tobacco. Kitchamanadu. Otapanan niwi asema. Thank you for everything that you do today. Miigwech ka iji kakina gegu. Ka iji chikean nungum. Thank you for my life. Miigwech ka bamadazian. Thank you for healing my sadness. Miigwech ka gagege. Niwi gashke ndamoan. Please help me to speak well today. Taga, we tuka wishin, ando minawe nungum. Thanks for listening. Miigwech ka bizendawieg. Amen. Apeyenge. Hey, Boozhoo. Boozhoo on deck. There's a crow over here. Looking good. Yeah, man, the black. It's very slimming. Yeah. Oh, you look just sleek. You look good. Yeah, have a good one. I like birds. Beneshi Yug. The birds. Hey, Thomas Shelby. Boozhoo, Niji. What's going on, Thomas? Thomas builds a fire. Hey, Victor. Where's your dad? And Jim Dunn. What's going on, Jim? It's good to see you, buddy. He's the Jim, been there, done that. I talked to an old high school friend of mine this morning. Natasha jumped on Facebook, and he said good morning, and so I knew he was up and at home. So I FaceTimed him after the show. Oh, it's always good to, if you're lucky and you still have any friends from the back in the days of the grandfathers. Because an old friend can remind you, that the past wasn't a dream. It really happened. Old friends know who you really are. What you're made of. They may not know how you've changed, but they know what you were like back in the day. What you're fundamentally like. Jim says, I was done before I started, Jim was born done. He was born and done. Curtis says, let my son watch Smoke Signals the other day. He loves it. Is that right? Oh, that's such a great movie. Indian man ain't nothing without his hair.
You got to set it free. You got to look like you just came back from killing a buffalo. But our people were never buffalo hunters. We were fishermen. You want to look like you just came back from catching a fish? This ain't Dances with Salmon, you know. Smoke Signals is one of those movies that has great quotes. It's kind of like The Breakfast Club that way. You know. You should let your kid watch The Breakfast Club next. I've let kids watch The Breakfast Club when I was a teacher. You know, modern kids. This Gen Z or whatever they're called. And they love it. They totally get it. I was kind of pleased to see that young people, they watch this show called Stranger Things. And I think, what's her name? Winona Ryder. Winona is Dakota for woman, I think. And it's a common name for the firstborn girl. That's what my grandmother told me. Winona means, maybe it means firstborn daughter. I don't know what woman is in Dakota. Hey, Wally Bear's here. Bonjour, Wally Bear. Says Gen X? No, I'm a Gen Xer. I showed the Breakfast Club to Gen Z, the kids of today. Who's ever like 14? I mean, now some of these kids have grown up. It's been a few years. Winona is from Winona. Oh, is that where? That's right. She's a Minnesotan, isn't she? I knew there was a reason I thought she was so cute. Nah. I think Winona Ryder is the one that got away. Johnny Depp should have stayed married. You know, they were like the homecoming king and queen of the 80s. But then, or maybe it was the 90s, but no, it's still the 80s. When 21 Jump Street and Edward Scissorhands. Remember that? Edward Scissorhands. Well, I suppose we're not getting any younger out here. I'm going to head back in, B'nai Shiag. But I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minawa. Yeah. I don't know, tomorrow. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Bonjour. Hi, sweetie. Oh, hi, NANABOOZHOO. Are you ready to come in? Yeah, can you pick me up? You got it. And let's see. That's 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. No. Hey, babe. Well, hi. How is it outside? You know, it's really beautiful. It's a perfect autumn day. Autumn morning. Yeah. Well, should we call it a show? Yeah, I suppose. Unless you want to add anything, Michael. No, that's probably good. Hey, everybody. I want to say miigwech. Miigwech kapizandawieg. Thank you for listening. Dush. Miigwech ganawabieg. And thank you for watching. Bonjour! NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. My name is NANABOOZHOO. This over here, Hoa. Get out of here. Be still my beating heart. The lovely and talented Natasha. Miigwech kakina awia. Thank you, everybody. And over there, the rock star cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. And I will see you again.
Giga Wabamin. Minawa. Hoa. All right. Hey, if you'd like to schedule a school visit, let Michael know. Email is right there. We'd love to come and do our show for you kids.